As we originally knew the story to go, Seymour had now been saved to live a happy, generic puppy life. This is what a retcon looks like, and a particularly egregious one at that. While it's a nice thought to give Seymour a new lease on life and a redemption of his relationship with Fry, it removes the impact, the emotional substance from the original Jurassic Park entirely. Again, one of the show's greatest episodes. An episode once about the cruel realities of life, relationships, and death becomes an exercise in futility as we now know there's a better fate awaiting Seymour. We now simply put up with this story, knowing full well it isn't the reality that coalesces. In Jurassic Park, there's a struggle in Fry to answer the question of whether or not he wants to face the sadness of Seymour having forgotten him. He struggles with the very human question of whether or not we should simply appreciate the past rather than attempt to relive or change it. Whether we should create new adventures, build on the ones we had, learn from them, instead of try to walk back over those original footprints. The irony being that this retcon seems to inadvertently answer that question for its audience. In Futurama's world, at least in Bender's big score, it isn't live and let be for the show or anything else. I think that Jurassic Park is a great example of why people are so passionate about that word retcon. Why arguments break out on the internet over the Force and midi-chlorians or decisions made in the pages of ink-printed comic books. Why every bad reboot and poorly written blockbuster sequel meets the same reaction. Why no one saw the new Men in Black. Why no one wants a new Back to the Future. My interest in this trend has much less to do with Futurama, a show I think is borderline immaculate and great from beginning to end, and more to do with the current state of media in general. It isn't fun when the things you care about are screwed with. And this isn't isolated to internet culture, and there's a right way to change these things in an equally obvious wrong way. But Futurama makes this as clear as any other example I could use. In the case of Jurassic Park, its retcon undermines one of the best pieces of television of that era. It screws with something that was arguably near perfect to begin with. It does nothing but expose everything that made Futurama so great, but through error. It does it while taking those things away from one of its greatest accomplishments, for something that for just one moment feels cheap. By changing it, by revisiting it, by not simply looking forward and building upon it, you can do much more harm creatively than good. Futurama dared to be the show that left Seymour outside of a pizza shop for 12 years. Maybe sometimes it's better to remember and appreciate the moment. Appreciate art, instead of trying to teach an old, much better dog new, less interesting tricks.
You know, I was God once.
Yes, I saw. You were doing well until everyone died.
It was awful.
Well guys, that is it for today's episode of Nerdstalgic. Obviously, using Futurama here as more of a parable for what I believe to be happening throughout most of Hollywood and television lately. But if you enjoyed this video, press that like button down below. If you haven't yet done so, also press subscribe. That way you don't miss anything I put out. Next to the subscribe button is a little bell. If you hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when I upload, which is obviously a big deal and helps me out a lot. And I do want you guys to know there are some huge Nerdstalgic announcements coming in the next video, so be on the lookout for that. Stuff I'm really excited about and I hope you guys will love. Really quickly, today's video is sponsored by Raycon. Raycon earbuds start at about half the price of other premium wireless earbuds on the market. They sound, at least to my ears, about as good as anything else I've used, and they actually fit a bit more comfortably. And because of that, they really are multi-purpose earbuds because of the way they fit. They're great for working from home, working out, listening to music, podcasts, whatever you're doing. They're great everyday earbuds. Their new everyday E25s are their best model. You can get 6 hours on one charge, seamless Bluetooth pairing, a bit more bass, and a nice design. If you click the link in the description below, you can get 15% off your Raycon order. That's buyraycon.com/nerdstalgic. Mine are here. They're amazing. I've actually been using them more than my AirPods recently. Follow the link down below for that 15% off. It helps me out a ton. And also it'll get you some really good, really affordable earbuds. On your screen right now are 2 more videos. You can check those out to see what I've done recently, the most recent episodes of Nerdstalgic, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video.